Hi, I'm Janice.
And Jim of Sasha Fierce.
This is Damian. He is almost too gay to function.
But I push through. I manage.
Hi.
Hey everyone, I am Damian Holbrook from TV Guide Magazine and TV Insider, and I am talking with Jaquel Spivey and Daniel Franzese, the Damians of the Mean Girl universe. And so we've been talking a little off camera, and this is super weird because I mean, I've done thousands and thousands of interviews, but I will say this is probably the weirdest one I've ever done. And I've interviewed Trump, but this is crazy because of what this is. So I'm going to leave it to Jaquel because he put it perfectly. What can you please explain what is happening here?
Well, what is happening is Damian of the 2024 movie musical Mean Girls chatting with Daniel, who is Damian of Mean Girls, chatting with Damian, who is the blueprint for the Damian of the 2004 movie and the musical and the 2024 movie musical.
Yes, so that is the perfect way to put it. I grew up with Tina Fey, and she was writing the movie. She was already at SNL. I was already at TV Guide. We were having dinner at friend's house right before Thanksgiving one year, and she said, I'm going to put you in my movie. And she was like, don't sue me. And I said, does he have any good lines? And she was like, he's got all the great lines. I was like, perfect. Not knowing what it was going to be. We did know, like, she was explaining it, and we were like, it doesn't sound like a blockbuster. Like, this is pretty niche. Like, it's based on a New York Times article. And then here we are. So let's first talk to you, Daniel, because this was, so for me, and, you know, we were just talking about this, like, when I was watching the movie, thinking if this character had been on screen when I was a kid, it would have meant so much to me. And I'm sure you have heard that countless times since the movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I was a kid, I was always trying to like find who was fat coded or gay queer coded, like, or Italian coded all the time in something. Like, it was always like just little, I got everything piecemeal, you know. I distinctly remember a character that sticks in my mind from like a Fox television show. It was a sitcom where he was chubby and he liked this girl and he bought her flowers, and it was like this, he was begging her to go out with him. And I was like, man, this is like, seems a little like sad. Like, why are all our stories sad? Like, and so for me, that was always like a weird thing. Like, I never had anything that was like, if I did have any representation, it was depressing.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, when this came around, and I read it, not only was it like one of the funniest scripts I ever read, like I was cracking up out loud on every page. But I was like, wow. And I was a little scared because I was still in the closet and being pressured to be that way by my reps and everybody. But I was like, if I don't do this, somebody else is going to do it and they're going to ruin it. It's so perfectly describes me at 16. I was like, I have to trust God and just do this and like leap into it and try to do it as best as I can because we need this. I did recognize that before we started. I didn't know it was going to be as a cultural touchstone, I mean, but I did know that it was important to play a character like this, breathing like this.
Right. And then Jaquel, like we were talking about, for you, not only do you get to take on this role and get these incredible songs and everything, but then you get to be that guy that young Black kids will be able to look at and say, that's me, you know, and check off the boxes that none of us have ever felt really all got checked off at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad that we can have the conversation about like representation matters, but I feel like sometimes the reach of what that representation only goes so far. And usually if it's a queer story, it never really reaches the Black community. So that's why when we got Moonlight, everybody was like, oh my God, what is this? And I'm like, oh, this is great, but they're all Teen Vogue models and they're all like, I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, but my experience in this body is very different than those who aren't in it. And then to add to that, I'm Black and I'm queer, it changes things. You know what I mean? It makes the box just that much more present.
Right.
So like to really be able to come on the scene and like take a character who's already been that representation for so many of us, and then add that one little touch that's like, just in case you didn't have this, you have it now. And that feels really good, that a legacy that touched me and changed my life, now I'm able to pass that on, and hopefully it's just the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true because it is like it always is like it's one or the other. You know,
Yeah.
like Daniel said, like it's the chubby character, they're kind of desperate, or they're played for laughs. Or
Hmm.
they're queer, but they're they have an 8-pack and they have, like and they don't even have to be funny because they're too handsome to be
Right.
funny. So
Right.
for this character, it's just been so cool to watch him evolve and become like the quotable one. The one that like we see buttons, we see bumper stickers, like all the lines, the songs. It's just been a really cool experience to watch it all play out. And then obviously the Easter eggs and the connections, the connective tissues, because like Damian Hubbard doesn't replace Damian from 2004, but there are the connective tissues like Tina and Tim Meadows being in the film, which I love the added bonus of their love story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And obviously Renee Rapp being a force of freaking nature. But then you had Lindsay Lohan. Now, Daniel, you got to work with her. Like you spent most of your time with her and Lizzie Kaplan. Jaquel, did you get to work with even be on set when she was filming her stuff?
Not even for 5 seconds.
Oh.
And it's okay. I waved to her at the premiere. That's all I needed, but Damien wasn't at the mathlete competition. He was trying to get cute for Spring Fling. So that's a good excuse to miss it.
I'm just seeing her on screen, and it's just because we love a comeback and all that, but we also love just the joke of them being able to get her to play the mathlete person. That was
I was sad though, personally, because I was like, this is amazing. But I was really hoping for like some kind of a moment with us. I was praying for it. I was like, I would just love a moment to just like, you know what I mean? Especially, I feel like there was this confusion on like, oh, they're trying to replace the 04. I'm like, y'all must not know me. I didn't sign on to this, with the mindset of replacing anyone. Like I really wanted to be a part of it, but only because of what you did for me, and I'm so glad I had a moment with you at the premiere to say it, like I don't know. I really wish that moment could have happened on screen as well, but I'm glad it happened here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that was I would have liked to have been in the musical. It would have been nice to get that phone call. But but it was nice to meet you in that way. I mean, I really had to try not to bawl.
Right.
Like I had everything within me was like, do not cry right now. Do not cry in front of all these people, because I feel your kindness and your warmth and your energy as a performer, and it radiates in the screen too. And I just really love you.
Have you ever watched the closing credits of the new movie? There is a full storyline in the closing credits of how this high school comes together at the Spring Fling. It had to be so much fun to film that section.
That was one of our reshoots. And we honestly didn't know what we were doing. I was just like, well, this is my first time going to LA. So I mean, anything to get me on a damn flight, I'm there. So to get there and to see like, oh, this is like a party, like that was dope for me, because I just felt like there wasn't a moment for us to really connect with characters that we weren't friends with.
Exactly.
In the actual. So it was nice to like, do a little something with BB or, Gretchen, and just to have a good time. And like, even the little moments, I don't know if they made it into the end, but we gave Damien a boo this time, because that was something that I was like, I feel like he should have somebody.
No, I have something to say about that. That like it has only become really apparent to me, like as we're around the 20th anniversary now. We're like approaching it so fastly. But Assad Coop, who is like this incredible queer filmmaker. He does a lot of music videos for a lot of our favorite drag race queens like Trixie Mattel and Victoria, whatever, Bob the Drag Queen. When he won his Queerty Award, he came up to me afterwards and he told me that because Damian didn't have a boyfriend and Damian didn't have a kiss in the movie and never actually said the words "I'm gay," he made it past the censors in places that they censor gay media. And in Dubai, where he was growing up, he knew that he could come to America and have a life because of how Damian was accepted. And I think that I mean, who knew that him not having a boo necessarily at the Spring Fling might be a great thing for Damian to have reached the world at that time when stuff like that in media was being cut out. So God, it's just I keep getting humbled by the reach of the character and how far things have gotten, you know. And I've heard that message from other people in places like Africa and China that have called and written letters and have told me that. And I mean, it's really the fans who have informed me about all this stuff. The first time I ever got a weird thing was like I was filming a movie in New Orleans, and it was years after Mean Girls, like at least 5 years after Mean Girls, and a bouncer at a bar started crying. And I was like, bro, it's a comedy. Like, you can chill out. Like, I didn't understand the significance yet of what it had done for me. He's like, no, but you don't understand what it's done for me. And I was like, that was weird. Like, and then when the 10th anniversary hit, that's when people really start, because it takes time. It's going to take time for your performance, for people who have seen it now in high school and are seeing themselves in that, grow old enough to then reflect on it and tell you how the impact of it takes time for the seed to nurture into bearing fruit. And honestly, like it's overwhelming now after 20 years, all of the different people that this has touched in a way that who even knew that it could do that.
So Damian in 2004, clearly known in the school, he knows what the story is, and he's not an outcast. He's chosen to be with Janice, but like it's not like he's, you know, bullied or anything. In the new one, they seem to have made very concerted efforts to make Damian such a non-issue in the school. But when Janice has her song "Rather Be Me," she comes up to him at one point during the song, and like he's kind of like, he looks down at her and he's like, yes, that's exactly how it is. Like he's the one, she's thinking about not wanting, like, needing anyone's kind of approval, but you're the one going, yeah, you got this. And it's very interesting. It's almost like he's become the spiritual leader of North Shore.
You know, some might say he is. You know, he's honestly, when you really look at it, it's like he doesn't have necessarily beef, like true beef with anyone. He's riding for his friend because he's loyal as hell. But like, you may not be able to pinpoint any of this drama back to him just because it's like, I'm gonna sprinkle a little of my magic here and then I'm gonna dip. You know, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna sing a little song. You know, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what 2004 Damian was like. He was kind of like a stealth player, where like he was able to navigate this whole school. Even being called like too gay to function was by a friend, and then when it was said by someone else, they're like, no, this is not. Yeah, that's not okay. Which, you know, in 2004, people were still saying that.
See, this is the color I want.
This is Damian. He's almost too gay to function.
In the original, how many girls were in that set?
Well, are you talking about the Winter Challenge show or the Spring Fling?
No, the when they're all called into the auditorium after.
Oh wow, a lot. Yeah, a lot. I couldn't get over how funny it was that I was there in that costume trying to pretend to be a girl, like in the back row. To me, that was always the funniest thing. I did have like a little, like, Tina was really giving when I had like ideas, and I like, you know, at first they didn't want me to, they were afraid people wouldn't realize it's me. I'm like, I'm 6'4" and a man. Like, I was like, they're gonna know it's me. Like, they didn't want me to do she doesn't even go here, like in a high voice. They wanted me to, but I wanted to sound like I was trying to pretend like I was still a girl and then like hide. And, you know, I'm glad I stuck with it.
Yeah.
So, you know, now I can't get away from it. But
no, yeah. And it's like how you get it with a fan.
With a little, do something, a little extra something. Yeah.
Definitely brought some flavor and sauce.
I know. I was like, that is 2024 with the fan. I was like, look at that. But then you also get the callback at the end of the new one where you're like, again, she does not go here.
You know, I think
Yeah.
about that. I also think about that moment all the time and how iconic like my face in the hoodie has become. Like it's like, again, stickers, t-shirts, cell phone cases, mugs. But like it's, and how like laissez-faire it was when we were choosing all of that. It was like, I guess you'll wear the hoodie in this scene because you can kind of cover your head, and the prop guy being like, which sunglasses do you want? Oh, I'll just I guess I'll take those, these, you know, or whatever. And then all of this, that all of a sudden that stuff ends up becoming
Right.
so iconic, and it was just random moments and like, you know, collaboration with the different production folks, like and then it all of a sudden ends up being something that sticks around forever. I mean, that's kind of like the testament of cinema, like, and it's such a weird, I think about it all the time, how weird that is.
Jaquel, what was that day like when they came to you with the hoodie?
Scary as hell. I knew it was on the schedule and I knew it was coming, but I think that was the one day where it was like, okay, you got to deliver something. And when they brought the hoodie to me, I was like, this ain't the same blue. And I was like, oh, okay, we're trying to switch it up. I get it, because I was like, wait, hold on now. I've watched this movie enough. I know what kind of blue it is. And then
it's hard to find periwinkle hoodies.
Yeah, I know.
It is. But
that's another weird thing about it is when people dress up like Damian for Halloween, they could wear any color hoodie and you get it.
I know. I'm like,
It's
okay, it's got to be in the blue family, otherwise you look like the Unabomber.
Yeah, I still see people go, oh my God, I won best costume. I'm like, girl, you in a gray outfit. Like, I don't know how you pulled that off. Like, but
yeah. No, I was glad to see a darker blue because it's far easier to get. All right, well, listen, I gotta wrap, you guys, but this has been an absolute joy. I'm so, like, it's so weird to say this, like, I'm so proud of both of you, and I'm so grateful that what you've put out in the world is just so beautiful and so positive, and it's reaching far more people than we ever imagined. I know I was talking with Tina yesterday, and she's just so happy for both of you and for this character to have become what it means for not just like the movie and like, you know, cinema, but like for people, you know. And it really is cool because when people, you know, I go to a coffee shop and I see somebody wearing that t-shirt that just says like, she doesn't go here, or you can't sit with us. And it's like, this is really great. This is really cool. And for both of you to be part of this, I'm just so proud of you. You both are, you're doing such great work. I cannot wait to see what's next for both of you. And who knows?
Well, now I want to work with you.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we got to get Gray in here. And then, I feel like maybe another one of those, like, what did we do, like RuPaul's Drag Con?
Yeah, we did like we once did RuPaul's Drag Con where we talked about the cultural significance of the character.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still feel like we should do like a 54 Below dueling Damians, like the three of us, and have you host it, Damian.
Sign me up in a heartbeat. Wait, that's the other thing. So Daniel, you get, before I wrap, you got Christina Aguilera. Jaquel, what was the song? That French song?
I sang the iCarly theme song in French. Shout out to Miranda Cosgrove and the entire cast. Yeah, I was expecting to be singing like either Christina, I'm like, maybe it's a Beyonce tune, maybe something Renaissance that just came out. And they were like, well, no, iCarly. And I was like, oh, iCarly. Yeah, let's do it. You know,
like, we cleared iCarly. That is absolutely amazing. That I'm so happy I just learned that information. Thank you so much. You guys do not, so Mean Girls, the 2024 movie just dropped. It is available on digital download from Paramount Home Entertainment. It's you can digital download, I believe Blu-ray, DVD. You can get it you can literally get it anywhere you want, on your phone, on your TV, whatever. Do not miss it. And then of course we have the original 2004 Mean Girls coming up on its 20th anniversary, which I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of press around. So
I heard they're going to re-release it on October 3rd for a few days.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely, so kind of fun.
And you know what? That's the day I probably get my Mean Girls tattoo.
Okay.
So we'll definitely be in touch before that. But you guys, thank you so much. You've done me proud, and I love it. Thank you guys so much, and congratulations.